Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk you through Mythic Gallywix and how I played it as Fury. So before we start the video and start the fight, I'm going to just talk you through the talents and the gear that I had. So the talents I had were a standard Slayer build with AoE talents, so improved whirlwind basically. I also picked up Intervene, but I don't actually think I used it on this pull, but it's nice to have to get out of suppression a little bit faster and just to have an extra mobility skill. A backup mobility skill probably, because usually this is your last resort to get out fast. I also picked up concussive blows because you interrupt the technicians in phase 1 and you can get small damage increase on them. But other than that, everything is very standard here. And the gear I had was this, and I was 672 at the time. I was using Ascension on my offhand and a 678 main hand. And obviously I'm using an off piece with the Nerubian armor banding as well, which is these boots here. And also I crafted a chest just for the stats and item level because I didn't have a myth track chest yet. So yeah, I think that's all there is to say about the gear. So let's start the fight. So on pull here, I'm just going to use my cooldowns straight away. It is important to use them straight away. I'll explain why on my next set of cooldowns. The Lust comes out like 5 seconds into combat when the boss is positioned, but either way, I'm using my cooldown straight away before the Lust even comes out. So here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go. I charge and use all my cooldowns. I am not using the brutal finish. I'm not maximizing brutal finish here by spamming Raging Blow after my Blade Storm. I'm just using my Rampages straight away because I do need my Blade Storms ASAP. Although I think actually on pull here, I can get away with maximizing brutal finish and just using all my Raging Blow charges. Anyway, you do take a lot of damage during this beginning of the fight, so just be ready to use Enrage Regeneration and also use Spell Effect to take less than magic damage as well. So the first set of ads spawn now. I have my Recklessness and Blade Storm ready. I'm going to use both of those, and I'm going to main target the Technician because the Technician is the prior target here. And I do try to interrupt that Technician ASAP as well because I want to get that concussive blows damage debuff on it, or damage buff on it. Oh, you know what I mean.
I'm trying. Right,
So I'm assigned to soak this canister all the time, or bomb, whatever they're called. They're always spawning in this position, in this formation I'm in. So this is like back right, back left, front right. I'm always front right, and it always spawns in this formation. There are some other soaks going on at the same time as well, but we don't have to deal with don't have to worry about those. So here's the first suppression. On every suppression in phase 1, basically you just rotate to the next set of ads. Again, I get the kick ASAP on this, and I use Recklessness Blade Storm as soon as it's available. And I just keep hitting the Technician and cleaving off that. And I use my cooldowns instantly here as well. This is important for the next set of cooldowns. So also I should mention the bait frontal here. We were told that you shouldn't need to bait the frontal as melees, but we found some unexplainable frontals that must have gotten baited on melees. So in the end, we decided to just have melees also bait the frontals. So bait frontal this way and then move out the way. And that reminder, by the way, is from the Liquid Weak Auras. Liquid Weak Aura pack. So I am holding this Recklessness here for the third set of ads because I want to have a Recklessness and Blade Storm on them. So here's the suppression. I leap away and I find a safe path to charge. You do want to make sure that you avoid those orange swirlies because they do deal a decent amount of damage, initial damage, but they also leave a nasty dot on you, so you definitely do want to avoid those. But anyway, my Recklessness and Bladestorm came up there, and I used them straight away on the ads. So here is it's probably the toughest overlap in phase 1. You get these bombs, you get the lines, and you also need to bait the frontals, and then you need to go and get to your soak. So I baited it this way, which was fine. They actually went that way, which is also fine. And then I went to my my soak here. But as you can see, I think maybe the boss gets a bigger hitbox while he's while you're soaking these things, or whilst all this is going on anyway, because I was able to hit the boss from very far away. When did I go out of range of the boss? Here. So if I take a step forward, there, yeah. How far is that? Sorry, I need to see this. The boss has a surprisingly big hitbox. So here, I can hit the boss. There, the boss is here. I am here, and I can hit the boss. The boss has a really big hitbox, and it got nothing to do with the abilities going out. It seems it's just the boss has a big hitbox, which is really nice for a change. So here is here are the ads that come up at the end of this phase. If I hadn't used my cooldowns on cooldown, it would have taken a long time for them to be ready for these ads here. So because I use them all on cooldown, they're pretty much perfectly on time, and I can pop everything on them. Cleaving from the boss this time. Your guild might want you to focus the technicians, but it's annoying to drop frenzy and all that, and there are multiple technicians anyway, so I felt it was okay to just AoE cleave from the boss in this case.
Baiting frontal here, blazes out.
So we're baiting frontal, and then moving out of the way.
Ready for soak.
I'd say at this point we're doing really well. 3.2 mil DPS at this point, from what I can remember, is a good pull here. So my cooldowns are ready now, but I see the intermission is coming up soon. I don't want to use these cooldowns that I've got, the Recklessness and Bladestorm, because during the intermission we get a lot of ads,
Intermission sessions.
and they're gonna spawn in this cluster of circles here. So here as a melee, it's nice to know that these beams here, they don't activate straight away. The visual is there, but they don't deal damage straight away. So you can actually let it pass through you for a second from the moment that they spawned, and it won't deal any damage to you. So I did use Bladestorm straight away on those ads, by the way. And yeah, the intermission is just like that. You start here, and then you rotate to here, and the next beam is not going to reach you. And there's always going to be a gap here that you can walk through to hit the boss. You don't actually need to walk through the boss, because the hitbox of the boss is so big that you can actually stay in the inner part of the room the whole time. That's definitely something I'm going to keep in mind when I re-kill this boss. Actually missed my execute there. Execute expired, but if I remember correctly, I get another proc here. Yeah, so it's all good. So here's another suppression. Definitely need to make sure that you run away from this, otherwise you do die. I left kind of late-ish, and that's fine because I had leap, and then I charged back in through a safe opening here. The lightning on the floor deals a ton of damage, probably like 70% of your health or something.
What bombs and blade lines? Bombs are on the floor.
Depending on if you have war paint up. So, enrage.
Good. Frontal and then right it's soaking. Right side is soaking in 5.
So, I'm not assigned to any of these soaks here. I don't think I've seen any warrior being assigned to these soaks, actually. So suppression is coming up here. I choose not to use my cooldowns because we're about to run away. So I run away. I actually wait for this to clear up here, but I definitely would have had definitely would have been better to just walk around this way and hitting the boss from here, because yeah, this took longer to clear than I expected. Anyway, I use my cooldowns now. I do get targeted by this, and the other bomb target is also wanting to plant there, so I'm like, okay, right, I need to get out. So I do that. I actually use Enrage Regen to charge back in again through the lightning. That was an impatient play from me, for sure.
Fate frontal.
We have frontal coming into melee running out for suppression.
3,
Rallying cry in
2,
3.
1.
So not much happening here now, just hitting the boss. Another suppression, so I do just run away. And that was a rally reminder for me as well, so I
from the
use
right
rally.
barrier.
And here I do just use my cooldowns, because I remember actually, if I use my cooldowns on cooldown here, my Recklessness and Blade Storm should be ready for the ads for the next intermission.
After these, we have a frontal, the blazes. Well, blazes
Fate
and frontal.
frontal.
Watch your blazes.
And also you should know that these bombs here, they'll actually deal that much damage. I probably, how many bombs is this? This is 3. If I went defensive stance and spell reflect up, I probably would live these 3 bombs. They don't deal that much damage. So if you have to choose between standing in those and something that will kill you, definitely stand in those bombs. So intermission is coming up very soon. So I move into the safe part of the room, because the part of the room I was standing in is now electrified.
No resistance, nothing melted.
And here's the intermission. So he's going to go to the middle. Ads are spawning in this cluster here. Again, we can stand in this beam as it spawns. He won't deal damage to us as long as we... Well, if I run into it now, of course, I would have died. But
Fire goes by.
the initial few seconds are safe. And also here, my Blade Storm, I believe it doesn't hit all of the ads. At this point, not really trying to min-max too much.
Fire goes by.
I think for the most DPS, you could probably ask a monk to ring them to get them closer to the melee group. Or maybe you could even start on the left side of the beam, which means you do have to run out of melee and around the beam at some point. But it would allow you to stand here to begin with, and then just start AoEing them straight away.
Ready to go.
So again here, in this intermission, you can hug this border here to the electrified room, and this beam will not reach you. Although this beam is going to be a little bit tighter, so it's best to stand at max melee range, so that you have a little bit more leeway, because the closer you are, the less leeway you have, right? So we said to stay at max melee range and hug the border basically, but don't quite step into the lightning. Although stepping into the lightning is better than stepping into the beam, because the beam will insta-kill you. And no, nobody dies there.
Good. To your side, left soak is first, 5 seconds. Left group ready to soak.
And then from here, it's just, well, not much happens.
We're gonna get
You kind of just hit the boss and run out with suppression.
two people stay.
And you kind of just YOLO spread with the rockets as well. Something funny happens here, I remember this. So I leap out here to safety. I probably could go closer to the melees here. But as you can see, I still have about just over 3 seconds left on this rocket, or about 3 seconds left on the rocket. And I'm here and I'm like, okay, I can actually move closer to melee. This is fine. I could have moved even closer. But during this time, our healer decides, actually, I'm not doing this. I'm hopping off. Nah, he probably just jumped off by accident when I got close to him. It is what it is. So here, a lot of bombs spawn. I think I tank a few of them. Yeah, I tank a few of them, and I'm still fine. I use Enrage Regeneration. I'm fine. But yeah, I definitely think I could have positioned my circle better. I could have probably even stayed in melee, and the melees could have just stayed out here and hit the boss from there. But it is what it is. So here's another suppression. This you just run away from, YOLO. And you can I could actually just stay on the middle
We have a red.
part of the room here and still hit the boss through the lighting. Some of the melees are doing exactly that.
Yep, spread for these.
But I was playing it really safe here at the last phase. I definitely feel like I could have done more damage in the last phase.
Just make sure we do this so
But,
fucking die.
you know, just wanted this boss dead. This was going to be one of the last pulls of the raid. We only had 10 minutes left of the raid at the point that we killed the boss here. So, you know. Right. Well, that's a fight anyway. Little bit underwhelming for... No. It's definitely underwhelming for a final boss. But, you know, I like the first phase. I think the first phase is cool. And I think I can do more damage next time that I'm on this boss. But to be fair, a 90 parse on the first pull, on the first kill on this boss isn't so bad. And yeah, let's see how I do next time. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you next time.